Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Australian report for the 4th of March. And like the S&P 500, we've also had two counts for this. So we've looked at this as wave 3 up here with an A wave, a B wave and a C wave. We've also viewed this possibly as wave 1 up here with an ABC back for wave 2 here. So that means that we can go long above this high. It also means we can go long above this high here. And we can also bring that down a little bit, and we'll look at that today. But the other count is looking at it as an A wave, a B wave and a C wave down here, and that means that we need to be short in this case. And in fact, on the tick chart where we talked about yesterday, we have already triggered in as short, so we'll need to manage that scenario. But let's have a look at both counts. So this is this count here with an A and a B and a C wave here for wave 4, and this is probably the correct one. And we'll look at the other count where we've got, squash this up, sorry, so don't worry about this wave 4 here, but looking, this wave 4 here, looking at this is wave 1 here. ABC for wave 2, pulling back into the 61.8% retracement level, and then wave 1 up here, and then an A wave, a B wave and a C wave that's not quite finished yet for wave 2 here, and then a move up from that point, from that 61.8%. So that's all possible. This will need to come down a bit further. We'll look at that in a moment. So going long above this high here would be the correct thing to do at that point. So, doesn't make it any easier when there's two possible directions until it unfolds enough so we know which one is which, but sometimes we just need to take things into our own hands a little bit. So here we talked about 1 and 3 here, both counts here. So I've been working both counts down through here. Yeah, I have to say, though, that the move up off this low here, this being the low here, of course, as an A wave, a B wave, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 as the C wave here, is the most fitting of all. It just counts better as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here. So in that case, yesterday we looked at putting a line through here and going short through here. So if you're short here already, then that's good. We can look to put a stop just nice and tightly above here. So that's where that stop can go at that point. Now, we can use these here. If I just, I had that as 1 and 2, so maybe I'll just borrow this one here as 1 and 2 here. So we've got wave C here with wave 1 down here, and back for wave 2 into our box. And we can look at that as 5 waves coming down here for 1 and 2 here. And then we can look at this coming down here further. So this is also little 5 waves in this little move here of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, a little ABC pattern here. So that's down for 1 here, this stage, back for 2 here. It's a bit tricky to figure that out there. I need to break that down further. I don't know if that's 1 to here and 2 to here and so on, but it should continue lower at this stage because we don't really have 5 waves unless we look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It just doesn't feel right. So there should be pressure to the downside, but that will probably come from the banks. Because the resources are just sort of pushing a little bit higher, and we'll go and look at those now. So just to recap this, we've been triggered in short, we've got to stop here, and it's a little bit of a fingers crossed analysis situation of how far this goes. Now remember, this is the 50-60% retracement level down here, so it's going to struggle here a little bit. And I think it's the banks that are going to sort of help bring it down a little bit further. In terms of targets, technically we should be taking this low out here. So we'll just hang tight a little bit on what we've got. We've got a nice, we've got a really nice
tight sort of spot in here for this. So we'll just stay where we are, and we'll just see what unfolds. So if I look at say the banks first, so with CBA here, this is a tick chart, 100 ticks. That's the top of the market. We can have a look at the daily chart in a moment. But we're looking at this as 1 and 2 and 3 down here and 4 here and 5 here for the A wave. And then we're looking for the market to pull back up into the 61.8% where it is now. I'm not sure if we need to put the B wave here and then finish off in this space here for this. Yeah, so a little bit tricky on this number. I don't even think that's the case, putting that B wave there, but I'm just going to move that away here for a moment. But it's this, what I am looking for here. I should have done some more work on this. I just don't get enough time to do everything that I should be doing. Is it better to do one thing and do one thing well, or do a handful of things, and that kind of scenario? So look, we're at the 61.8%. It may go a bit higher, but we'll see if there's a turn in this. We can see ANZ as well. It's got a completely different trend. It's been trending up, and we need to, so from wave 4 here, we've been looking at wave 1 and 2 here, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So we've probably got this 5th wave in here now, with wave 3 coming into play, and that means that we'll have a wave 4 to come back into this space. So if you wanted to take any profit, then this is where you need to do that. Let's move some of these things out a little. But that's kind of where it should come back to. Or you could also look at the 38.2%. So this would show, if that is a top in there, then we would be looking at weakness at this point, wouldn't we? So that's all good. So from this low here of one wave 4 and the 38.2% retracement level, that's where we come basically the 26, okay? So that's where it can come down to, and would be looking for an ABC pattern at this stage. So that would be, well, I'll just put the lines in then. So I'll take it a bit higher at the 28, because 8's a profit-taking number, and we'll see something like this, and then wave 5 pushing up a little bit higher. So this drop here could help that the ASX move a little bit lower, because I mean the resources are a little bit toppy. So if we start with iron ore, our normal thing, so iron ore's up for the day but sold off. So we're looking for this. I don't know if this is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 coming into here, and the wave 1 is over here for this, and then we come back for wave 2 over here. I'm just making an assumption this is wave 2 in here, and we're going to be heading up higher from that point. But all I do know at this stage is that this is in 3 waves here, and we'll be taking that top out. So we'll either pull back and then go up, but we're also looking at the stocks. We'll have a look at copper first. So yeah, it's probably 5. I mean, we got here from the low here, we got 1 and 2 here, nice third wave here, and this will be an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave coming in here before pushing up. So a bit more work to do there for copper, but that influences BHP, of course. So with BHP here, so we have pushed up a little bit higher, and expected so as well, because if I look at this as wave 1 here and 2 here, and then the third wave is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for the third wave. This is the 4th wave. We're going up for the 5th wave, so we're going to get quite toppy up here as well for this. So we're going to get a top in place here. Maybe we got it in already, maybe it go a little bit higher. The volume suggests that that there's momentum still to the upside there, so that's good. And BHP in the US, just to check, that was up a little bit further as well. We're not in this trade anymore, so I can get rid of that. And just keep these, put them out the way here somewhere. So yeah, look, in a nutshell, we're just looking for a top to come into play and then have an ABC correction and then further to the upside. So yeah, we're looking at the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level. So we definitely expect some sort of correction at this point. If you're in any of these BHPs or RIOs, and we'll look at RIO now as well, then this is the time. This is getting quite close now. If you want to take profit, this is where it is. So 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for the third wave, the fourth wave. So the fifth wave has just got another little move to the upside. How far that goes, I'm not sure, but that's our top there for that. So at once that's finished, we would be looking at, let's just take it there roughly, the 50-60% is around the 120 sort of area. We can adjust that later, but that's where the market can come back to. Is this a more serious top and I have the wave count wrong? Possibly as well, but there is 5 waves emerging here, and I would expect it to pull back into this space here somewhere before moving higher again. So you need to do what you need to do at that point with all of that. That will come over here for that. So we want the first high above the level to unfold there. And we'll have a look at FMG because it's had a bit of a wobbly, so with its wave 3, 4 here, so we've got a wave 3, an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave, so we can finish this off here. So that's the 5th wave there, and the C wave. So I think we've got a low in place here for FMG. It paid its dividend, of course, so, and a nice one too. I mean, just been such a good stock for everybody. I think, I don't know what's paying dividends, 8.6 or something on its dividends, and it's a stock that's just been booming to the upside. Anyway, yeah, we could have wave 4 done and dusted in here, folks. So what we need is an impulse wave to the upside. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we may have it there. So maybe we'll just chill out for a moment. Hopefully we'll get something back from like this here. So if we just look at, this is the first impulse wave up there. So what we want is we want the first high of the level to come into play, wherever that may be. So tomorrow we'll be looking for long trades for this. I'll just see how this plays out a little bit, because there's that little wave in there too that I didn't take into account. I just include it into that one, which is probably wrong. In fact, that's probably 1 and 2 there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 the third wave, fourth wave, and then the 5 waves. Anyway, we'll get a setup for that tomorrow. We'll make that a bit cleaner. If, however, you see the arrival, the reaction here, and then some sort of first high above the level, because this is really important. This is 23, this is number 3 here, so this is 20 down here, major level. Then we've got 1, 2 and 3 that make up group 1. So support on top of number 3 here, then that will just take you straight up to the next level, 5. So the Fibonacci numbers 1, 2, 3, 5 and 8 here before we get to the next whole number. And between 2 major levels is the medium level, so that's the 25 there. So obviously the major levels are stronger than the medium levels, and then the minor levels, and then the sub levels, and then the micro levels. Yeah, they come in handy as support and resistance and psychology and trade setups. And the more that you focus on the price, the more that you learn about the price. And as they say, it's all about the price. So in lots of different ways, of course. Right, lost the plot where I'm up to. I think I've covered everything that I need to cover except the Australian dollar, which I want to have a look at, of course. Just got to find it on my screen. So if we go to the watch list. So the Australian dollar. Now,
we're looking at this as wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5 here for a top. We had a long trade in from here, took profit at the 80, which is nice to get things right now and again. And then we've had this sharp move down. So now we're getting a corrective rally. So we really need to look at this. I mean, it moved down pretty quickly, so that's kind of typical of an A wave. But what we can do now is we can short under this one. I might just go to the tick chart and I'll just go to the hourly chart. Just let me work through this a little bit. That looks like there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to there. And this looks like 1 and 2 and all of third. I don't think we've got 5 waves down, actually. I think we've only got 3 waves down. We better drill in a bit further and have a look. So, tick chart, 100 ticks. Okay, so I've done some work on there. Okay, I just want to double check that. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can that be part of the other one? So that anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, all right. Yeah, that. Okay, we've got 5 waves down. Alrighty. So, I mean, this is kind of important because it does present a nice short trade here. We're not quite up at the 50%. So if it doesn't get up there, I mean, we can look at this. Well, that's like a little third wave in here. So that's basically, I can map that out now. That's the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave here. This is down for 1 and back for 2. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, we can go short under here. There will be problems in case this gets a little bit bigger because it didn't get up to its 50-60%. Sorry to look at the negative side of the market. But that's where the support is. That's the thing that you got to get through. That's 75, is it? Oh no, 78. Oh, that's all part of group 2. Can that be bullish? Can it still be gone? Can it still be well, look, I think it's like a small loss is a good loss. So I think that what we can do here is just keep it really tight. If you want to short it, then that's where the stop needs to be. So we'll just keep it nice and tight at this point. Because the thing that haunts me a little bit is that it hasn't actually reached its 50-60% retracement level. Not that that's the end of the world, but it's just comforting if it's reached the box, because otherwise what I'm thinking is that the A wave up here and copy that, and a B wave down here and a C wave over here for that, That's what I'm thinking, as an A and a B and a C down to here, and then up from that point. Now, there will be a bounce off here anyway, so don't panic. Yeah, we've got to get through that. But, yeah, so I don't know. I'll let you think about that a little bit. What I could say is that this correction here is well balanced for this move here. It just doesn't have the height that I would like to see, as in a comfort zone, because it's short. it can do this and then come down, but it's rather big at that point, but it depends if it's a correction or not. But I think that it's worth a short trade at that point and just try to manage it up a little bit better. So this will come down, it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down to this point here. And then what will happen, that will come down here further. And okay, let's just sharpen the knives up here. So that will come down to here, bounce off that low, and then we'll look for another, take it off that number there, then that will come down to that, so they can come back to that point. So which will come back to the in here somewhere, you know, that's the block in there, in that consolidation. So, and then come down again from that point. So what you could do is you could like come across this way in that regard, and then the stop, this red stop here, that can be tighter, that can come down to this high here. Okay, so that will give you a much tighter band to work in at that point. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.